Selva Kumar, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, 5 minutes, sir.
Yeah, fine. That's fine. No problem.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Good afternoon to all. So before entering into sessions, I will give some intro about our expert, engineer S. Selva Kumar. He has completed his bachelor's degree in electrical and electronics engineering at RVS College of Engineering and Technology in 2006 with first class distinction. He is a gold medalist in Masters in Power System at Anna University, Chennai in 2015. Has worked as an engineer, power system studies in power research and development consultants, known from PRDC, from 2006 to 2008. From 2008 to 2011, he served as an electrical engineering in Tata Consulting Engineers Limited, Bangalore. He is associated with ABB Global Industry Limited, Chennai from 2011 to 2019 as a lead engineer. In 2019, he joined as head engineer and designer at Power Projects, Chennai. So he has work experience in PRDC from 2006 to 2008, TCE from 2008 to 2011, 11 as an engineer electrical, ABB from February 2011 to August 2019 as a lead engineer. He is continuing in power projects from 2019 till date. So he has vast experience in load flow studies, reactive power compensation studies, voltage dip drop studies, short circuit studies, transient studies, motor acceleration studies, overcurrent and earth fault relay coordination, subsynchronous resonance, harmonic study, renewable integration, microgrid, distribution generation, energy storage, etc. We also have expertise in designing conventional and renewable power plants, substations, and process industries. He is also famous in industrial structure for his training and power system softwares like ETAP, Easy Power, Dixieland, Power Factory, Power World, PVSys, Homer, etc. So his international exposure includes Germany, Italy, Bangladesh, Singapore, Malaysia, Qatar, Kuwait, Dubai, Australia, Sweden, Canada, Philippines, Thailand, etc. So here he is associated editor for journal Transaction or Engineering and Science. He is also industry expert member in technical advisory committee in many academic institutions. He was a lead corporate trainer in ABB University, which provides the training for industrial experts on power system, control and protection. He has guided many projects for electrical students in bachelor level and master's level. He has conducted seminars and workshops in various academic institutions and industries. His area of interest are microgrid, energy storage, electric vehicle infrastructure, grid planning, power system operation and control production, power plant and substation design, integration of renewables, wind, solar and small hydro system studies and smart grid. So I welcome you, sir. And the session is now yours, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. It's my pleasure and privilege to be back to the session after the inaugural address. Great. Thank you so much. And like, I will try to have this session as interactive as possible. And of course, the next maybe 83 minutes more precisely will be more engaging if you are able to probably, help me in, the questions what I put are probably answers what I seek. And sincerely request everyone to mute yourself. And if you want to have a question, bit lengthy question, and which cannot be typed into the chat, definitely I will give you enough time for the Q&A. So by the time like you can unmute yourself and you can post the questions. I am the person who can always love to answer the questions rather than like teach what I know. So definitely there is enough time. But before that, like I expect your strong support in the chat. If you are willing and super excited to jump onto the topic, just put excited in chat. So I want to see like 49 people typing out excited in chat so that we can, with the 10 to despite of after lunch, we can jump onto the topic. How many of you are excited to enter into the topic? If you're excited, just type excited in chat. Shall I get some responses? 50 people's on board. How many of you are excited to enter into the session? If you're excited, just type excited. Or if you're not excited, just type not excited in the chat. So that's also fine for me. Yeah. Thank you so much, Vijay Bhaskar sir. Thank you so much, Sankar Narayan sir. Means that's what like I'm open. Like if you're not excited for whatever maybe the reasons, I'm fine with that. So excited or not excited, both are okay for me. So if you're excited, just type excited in chat, and if you're not, kindly put not excited. That's absolutely fine, right? And I know the pain of the faculty members handling the students in the online classroom, right? During the COVID, right? Yeah, fine. So we got good responses. Thank you, Gomadi ma'am. Thank you. I couldn't really pronounce the name. Soumya Ranjan. Okay, thank you, Soumya Ranjan. Pradeep A. Thank you so much. Vinod Kumar A. Vanita. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you so much. And with that, let's probably start with the again a question. Again a question. If I have a standalone system, like not really complicating, let's talk about the problem in a very, very, very simple term so that we can understand energy storage, then we can increase the complexity. If I have 100 megawatt installed capacity, assume that that comes from thermal, hydro, or gas, diesel, etc., etc. And assume that the maximum demand is also 100 megawatt. Now, if I am adding, say, example, 1 megawatt solar or 1 megawatt wind turbine generator. So what I'm trying to say, my installed capacity is 100 megawatt with the conventional sources, controllable sources more specifically, and I'm adding in 1 megawatt a renewable which is intermittent in nature. Now, do we need an energy storage system? Do we need an energy storage system for this scenario? If we need energy storage system, when we are adding in 1 megawatt intermittent renewable along with 100 megawatt existing controllable resources, we just put yes in chat. If that is not required, means what say, just put no in chat. Hope the question is clear. The question is simple and straightforward. I have 100 megawatt controllable sources. In addition to that, I am adding a just 1 megawatt intermittent resources. So now means was say, do we need energy storage or not? If we need energy storage, just to put needed or yes in chat. If it is not required, just to type not required or no in chat. After lunch, I could understand the pain, but means what to say, I am the trainer who always taught training probably for an industrial participants, probably after a dinner in the evening, right? Right. So like, thank you so much for all the answers. And I know like, if you're joining from mobile, it will take some time to text it, but like, I would like to have all the answers. And probably means also I can give you some super duper offer for all the participants, those who are engaging with me. Promise me that like, definitely I will do that, right? Not required, Sankar Narayanan said, thank you. Needed, Vinod Kumar, thank you. Yes, that means needed. Praveen, let's look at why do we need energy storage, or where do we need energy storage? This is what first we need to understand before jumping into the topics. And let me take you through the topic, and probably let's watch an interesting video as well. Then from there we will go. Right. So hope you're able to see my screen. Right. Energy storage technologies in renewable energy integration. That's the topic. So if you are integrating the renewable energy storage is not really mandatory till the renewable energy contribution or a penetration reaches to certain extent. Let me repeat my statement if that statement is not clear. If I guess like, let me stop presenting it. Yeah. Good. I'm always a person probably to jump between presentation or slides or materials or videos to be back to the video, right? So logically, you need an energy storage only when you have an intermittent renewable resources crossing certain percentage. Any guess means what's the minimum possible renewables, or like put in the question the other way around, what's the maximum possible intermittent renewable resources which we can add without adding any energy storage? Hope the question is very clear. Means what's the maximum capacity of the renewables which we can add without having an energy storage into the system? And today morning, like means we might have seen this installed capacity and stuffs like that, right? We have talked about like 25-26% of the installed capacity comes from renewables. I guess like you might have attended my inaugural session. So from that, any questions or thoughts like above this much percentage of the above this much percentage of the renewable integration, we need an energy storage. So let me put the answer. Means if your renewable penetration is less than 10%, if your renewable penetration is less than 10%, then you don't need control or energy storage. That means neither automation or a control nor energy storage is needed if your renewable penetration is less than 10%. And from 10 to 25%, you need control, you need automation, you need, I mean, for say, sophisticated controllers to ramp up, ramp down, etc., but still you can survey without energy storage. But if your renewable fraction or penetration has increasing beyond 25%, you essentially need energy storage. So why I am stressing this point? Probably if you have attended my morning session, you might be understanding it. Probably means for say for the benefit of maybe the others, those who have not really joined. Like I'll pick it up the installed capacity again. If you look at the screen, what I have shared, hope it's visible, right? So 3,90,791 megawatt or 391 gigawatt. Out of that, 103 gigawatt is coming from the renewables. So the renewable has crossed already 26%. That's what we have seen. And with that scenario, India has already reached a place where the energy storage is a mandatory. Energy storage is a mandatory. Now, let me ask this question. Yes, energy storage becomes mandatory. That's great. Energy storage becomes mandatory. That's great. But renewable plus energy storage, is it expensive or is it economical? That's the biggest question to be answered, right? Let me ask this question. Now, I strongly believe your college receives the power supply from the utility, right? Your college receives the power supply from the utility at maybe 415 volt or 11 kV, right? And you will be consuming power. What's the cost of energy which you are giving it to the utility? Or what's the cost of energy from the utility? If you are consuming 1 unit of energy for your college, what's the money or what's the price, rupees per kilowatt hour, which you are paying to the utility? Can you just put that number in chat? How much rupees per kilowatt hour, which you are spending when your college consumes 1 unit of electricity? And of course, that price differs from the state to state. That's the real reason why I'm asking. So, yep, 1 unit is 6 rupee 50 paise. Tamil Nadu. Thank you so much, Shankar sir. Right. Anything else? Any other answers? How much money which you need to pay to the electricity board when you are consuming the energy? Only one answers. Okay, no worries. Let me jump on to the answers. It depends on whether you are a domestic consumer, whether you are an industrial consumer, whether you are a commercial consumer, right? So if you take a domestic, again it will vary from state to state or electricity board to electricity board or utility to utility, and nowadays private utilities also there like Reliance, Tata Power, Adani, right? And probably means we might be getting the future power probably like, I mean, for say how we are getting Jio, Vodafone, Airtel, etc., right? Like, so from private parties also we will be having multiple choices, we will be getting it. But right now, like that competition is not that much in the distribution sector. But despite of that, we have some utilities and choices. Typically, if you're a domestic customer in Tamil Nadu, first 100 units, you will get it free, right? First 100 units free, and then probably 1 rupee 50 paise, etc. So that means what's a very important point. If you are going for a rooftop solar for your own home, that will never ever work commercially. Let me stress this point. Since the price of the electricity for a domestic user is much cheaper, highly subsidized, if you go with the solar plant, that is extremely not commercially viable. So now let me bring up an Excel sheet just to type out the cost of the electricity from a different sources, different sources. and then probably compare or try to get the answer for our problem. We will get amazing answer. Then that helps where this energy storage becomes economically viable. Looking back, if you take thermal, if you take hydro, if you take nuclear, if you take gas, if you take diesel, if you take wind, if you take solar, right? And then probably means what say energy storage. Energy storage is not necessarily the source of the energy, but like just a storage. Let's look at this with maybe renewable plus energy storage. Let's look at from this two perspective. One is the capital investment. One is a capital investment, and other one is cost of energy, right? Rupees per kilowatt hour. So this is cost of energy for generation, right? Looking at this number, like capital investment, let's put means what say crore megawatt, Indian rupees 1 crore per megawatt, or how much crores per megawatt. Typically, if you're putting thermal power plant, it will be 5 to 6 crores per megawatt. Hydro, 6 to 10 crores per megawatt, depends upon the civil requirements. And nuclear is probably means highly debatable topic. So I'm giving an average number outside India. So that's number 5 to 6. We should not compare really this number with the Kudankulam. Like there it is 23 crores per megawatt, right? Gas, almost the same price. Diesel, it could be like cheaper. Wind, 5.5 to 6.5 crores. Solar, 3.724 crores. Energy storage, I mean, it's leaving it blank. So this gives what's the capital investment, and it's probably solar is definitely far better compared to many other. Though a diesel is cheaper, but let's look at what's the cost of energy. That's where the comparison which we need to make. This is anyway between 2.5 rupees to 4 rupees. Hydro, probably we cannot really claim, that depends upon the water availability and stuffs. Here also it is in the range of about 2 to 3 rupees. Gas, from an Indian context, it is 8 to 12 rupees. Countries like Middle East, those who have a gas would work out much cheaper. And Indian context, diesel works from 15 rupees to 35 rupees. To give an idea, means what say Andaman Islands, powered heavily by diesel generator, the cost of energy generation was 29 rupees per kilowatt hour. To generate 1 unit of electricity, they have spent 29 rupees. That's because predominantly they have a diesel generators, and predominant demand comes to them as a evening demand, because that's a tourist spot. Like evening 6 to 10 is their peak demand. So they have average cost of 29 rupees per kilowatt hour. So why I'm stressing this point, if somebody asks energy storage, is it an economical? Answer, since the cost here is like 29 rupees per kilowatt hour, about 3 years back, means what say, NLC has implemented, Neyveli Lignite Corporation has implemented 20 megawatt PV, 8 megawatt PCS, PCS is a bidirectional converter, 16 megawatt PCS, 8 megawatt hour battery, 16 megawatt hour PCS, 8 megawatt hour battery. They have installed, and probably means was phase 1 is completed, phase 2 is going on. 8 megawatt hour is the battery. Battery is a lithium ion battery, exactly what's the battery which you're using in your mobile phones. And the combination of solar plus energy storage works much cheaper than what's the electricity which they were generating prior to this installation of this. And if you want to look at maybe more information on this, it's quite easy. You can probably means what say look at this NLC tender, 20 megawatt solar, 16 megawatt PCS, Andaman. Let's just quickly search it in Google. We will get, I mean, what to say, beautiful informations, right? So you will get, means what to say, the document of this e-tender also, right? ETN, that is 20 megawatt solar with the BESS to be developed, 2C rating, right? You will get all this informations, right? That's done by means what to say, NLC, and like you can collect even including the specification, like let's like technical specification for this, and of course Google is right. So you will get all the informations for it. Of course, it's asking some password, but you will be able to, means what to say, get some documents and stuffs like this. And if you want, like I can share the specification because I have personally worked on that project, right? So answer what I'm trying to say, the cost of the electricity is more, then probably solar plus energy storage could be much cheaper or much better option than having a conventional sources. Talking about the wind, cost of energy generation is anywhere between 2.75 to 3.5, and solar it is 1 rupee 7 paise to maybe 2.5 rupees, which means cost of energy perspective, the cheapest form of energy as on today is solar. Solar is the cheapest form of energy among all other resources, and that's the real reason why we are probably aiming to add additional 55 gigawatt of renewables in the next 13 months, averaging about 4,000 megawatt or 4 gigawatt on a daily month, each and every month, right? So now question is, if can I power this entire world by purely renewables which are intermittent in nature? Answer is no. Why? Is clear. Wind turbine generator or a wind farm will generate a power when wind is available. Solar will generate when sun is available. But I need energy, electrical energy all the time. So shall I make my system 100% renewable without energy storage, which is not possible? And though the installed capacity perspective, which we are talking about, means what say 103 gigawatt out of 390 gigawatt, which is about 26%. But from the energy perspective, we need to understand. Let's, I mean, what to say, put maybe two more websites. POSACO, I'm not really sure how many of you are aware of this website, POSACO, and probably means what say, let's put the website CEA. This CA is what I have shown in the morning. Let's look at this. This gives some informations, probably bit old informations, April 2021. If you look at this whole month of April 2021, where the sun is shining better and brighter, looking at this, only 11.7 billion units has been generated from renewables, and conventional generators has generated 105.52 billion units, which means what to say, from the installed capacity perspective, we are far better. So let's try to means what to say, understand this better. Installed capacity and energy, right? Let's look at what is, I mean, what to say, total, what is renewables, what is conventional, and then let's look at installed capacity perspective. If you write it in gigawatt, let's look at the numbers, 390.791, and renewable is 103.055. That's in gigawatt. And if you want conventional, you can easily understand this one minus this one. So if you talk about renewable percentage, this is what we have seen in the morning today. The answer is 26.37%. This is only from the installed capacity perspective. It is not really from the energy perspective. Let's look at the dirty side of the renewables. So this is the data of 30th October. This is the data of April 2021. It's a bit old data, but still, let's look into the data. 11.7 billion units. This is billion units, right? So let's look at what is the renewable as well as the conventional. 11.7 billion units of renewable and 115.52 of conventional, and the total is just simply summation of this plus this. So means what to say, the total energy generated in the month of April 2021 is 127.22 billion units, which means the energy which we met in the month of April is hardly about 9.19 percentage, right? I have an installed capacity of about 26 percentage, and like the energy what we are meeting from the renewable is just limited to 9.19 percentage. So when this crosses 25 percentage, we need an energy storage without any doubt to maintain this grid, right? And when you are looking at from this perspective, energy perspective, like you cannot really increase it beyond 10 percentage without energy storage. So when you have an installed capacity perspective, your renewable installed capacity is more than 25 percentage, or your energy perspective, if it is more than 10 percentage, essentially you need an energy storage systems. And let's watch a small video which talks about an energy storage in a standalone system, and I will try to share the link also for this video so that you can watch this again and again and again, just to quickly ensure. Are you able to see this video what I am playing? A video. If you are able to see the video and solar panels in your screen, just type yes in chat so that like I can probably go ahead. Yeah, that's great. Let's go ahead. So this is the solar panel which you are seeing. I'm not really sure whether the volume is audible or not. If the volume is not audible, that's absolutely fine. I can give a background volume to that because like I will be able to narrate the story better than what that video is going through. But like one simple and straightforward first question. By looking at the solar panel, like you can understand, I mean, for say there are three different, for say tracking mechanisms which is available. One is fixed tilt. One is a fixed tilt. Second one is single axis tracking. Third one is dual axis tracking. By means of looking at this solar panel, whether it is a fixed tilt or is it a single axis tracker or is it a dual axis tracker? Is it fixed tilt or is it single axis tracker or is it a dual axis tracker? Shall I get the answer in chat? I will come back to this chat to get some answers if any. No. All right, let's go ahead with the video then. 6 megawatt battery. So let me probably go ahead with the video, and like this video, entire video is important, but like if I play this continuous 8-minute video and if I tell the story, like I most likely I will lose my time. I'm not really going to do that. I'm just essentially going to focus what it is needed for me. So I'm just trying to focus on that. Let's go ahead probably from this video. And if you really need the total video, I will give you the link from where you can watch this video. Yeah. So here, that was a mine. Basically, this mine is in Australia. This is a project way back in 2014, which we have done. So 7 numbers of 2 megawatt diesel generator, 7 numbers of 2 megawatt diesel generator, which is in a green color, which you can see, and 5 numbers of 1 megawatt diesel generators. So going back to this Excel, let me write this. Installed capacity of diesel generator is, means what to say, 7 into 2 is 14 plus 5 into 1, that is 5, totally 19 megawatt is the installed capacity. And they are adding a solar, that is basically 10.6 megawatt, 10.6 megawatt, that's solar, and probably means what to say. Now, if you look at the total installed capacity is 29.6 and the renewable fraction is 35%, which essentially needs an energy storage. And what's the capacity of PCS, that is a bidirectional converter, and what's the capacity of battery is a question. So 6 MVA is the answer. PCS rating, battery rating is 4 megawatt hour, right? So means with this, they are able to reduce the diesel consumption. They are able to reduce the diesel consumption by 20%. Means to say this plant, when it is purely run by a diesel generator, consuming 25 million liters of diesel every year, and after this installation of solar plus energy storage, this came down to 20 million liters of diesel, which means 5 million liters of diesel you are saving every year. Imagine 5 million liters, means what's the cost of it, what's the carbon dioxide emitted is reduced, right? So probably, despite of, means what's it is being economical, right? So means when you have a diesel generator and you are trying to meet a demand, the cost of energy is in the range of about 15 to 18 rupees per unit. But when they brought the solar plus energy storage at a cost like what we have worked out here is cheaper than, means what is the cost of diesel. So the only question to be asked is, shall I have a renewable plus energy storage cost which is less than the diesel? That's already there in most of the cases. So that's a beautiful, means what's a business case, and like none of the businessmen could probably regret that options. And probably means what say now in renewable plus energy storage is trying to compete with a thermal plant. Let's look at maybe an Indian scenario example, and let's see SECI 900 megawatt energy storage tender, right? So if we really do not get this, let's put renew power, right? So this is the information. What's the cost of solar plus energy storage? Perfectly there in this page, right? In a table. Let's not really read everything through that. I guess like where is the table? Yes, here is the table. So Renew Power brought about 300 megawatt. They have gone with the battery energy storage systems. Peak tariff is 6 rupee 85 paise, off peak tariff is 2 rupee 88 paise, and weighted average tariff is just 4 rupee 30 paise, which means they are able to install 300 megawatt solar, and they are able to install battery energy storage systems along with this PCS, provide a firm peak power from evening 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock where the demand is more, and they're able to sell that energy at just 6 rupee 85 paise. 6 rupee 85 paise. Can someone, I guess like you have to mute yourself. Tenmuli madam, can you mute yourself? Emily madam, can you just mute yourself? Or else from the organization perspective, organizers, can you mute the people, those who are. Emily madam, can you mute yourself? Or else, can we have an admin to mute the participants? All right, let's go ahead. So, if we look at this back, and then Mali madam, kindly you have to mute yourself, madam. Then Mali madam, can you mute yourself? Or probably means for say from admin side, like the organizers, can we mute the participant?
Sir, muted, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. All right, thank you so much. So, let's jump onto this. Hope still you will be able to see my screen. The peak tariff, what you are able to, they are supplying is at 6 rupee 85 paise. What that mean? They are purely going with the solar. They're purely going with the solar and trying to have energy storage. And in this case of ReNew Power, it is battery energy storage. And like they are supplying a peak power from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. a firm power, not an intermittent power, firm power at 6 rupee 85 paise. And like an off-peak tariff, the rest of the hours they are supplying 2 rupee 88 paise. The weighted average tariff is 4 rupee 30 paise, which means this is comparatively, this 4 rupee 30 paise is comparatively a good number compared to any of other things. And for sure it is far better than diesel. For sure it is far better than diesel. And like this is probably trying to compete with other sources now, right? So which means like solar plus energy storage itself probably works commercially attractive than going for a thermal. So in a long run, whether to go for a thermal or whether to go for solar plus storage could be a commercially attractive option. Not really now, maybe 10 years down the line, 5 years down the line, etc. But renewable plus energy storage is already a viable option compared to diesel generator or compared to gas turbine generators in Indian market. Having said that, let's come back and look at, Greenco means they have gone with 900 megawatt at much better, cheaper price, but they have gone with a pumped hydro. That probably brings a very, very, very interesting point to our topic, what we supposed to talk. The topic what we have is energy storage technologies in renewable energy integration. And nowadays, everybody talks about energy storage means battery energy storage, but energy storage not necessarily has to be a battery energy storage. It could be a pumped hydro, means there could be like many ways of energy storage: mechanical, thermal, electrochemical, electrical, chemical, and pumped hydro. And probably means if you are probably means was say know about the PA college location, if you travel from there about 30-35 kilometers, you will be able to see one of the largest pumped hydro in India, 4 into 100 megawatt pumped hydro, which is operating, right? Pumped hydro, which we have near Pollachi, about 20 kilometers from there. Like we have 4 into 100 megawatt pumped hydro, which is still in operation, right? And similarly, mechanical, you have many other options, like you can go for a compressed air, but that compressed air is it's still in R&D stage, not really commercial stage. Flywheel, it has been tried long back, but it has some drawbacks of like losses, operation maintenance, and etc. Thermal, you have a molten salt storage, and I'm not really sure how many of you are aware there is something called CSP, concentrated solar, right? Like nowadays everybody talks about this PV photovoltaic, but there is something called solar thermal that looks like ultimately a thermal power plant, except the steam is generated from the steam generated by this solar heat, right? And probably means there molten salt could be used for energy storage applications. electrochemical batteries, and like there are quite a lot of batteries. Starts from lead acid, which we are using for our college, to nickel cadmium, to lithium ion, sodium sulfur, high temperature batteries, flow batteries, right? Like that, there are quite a lot of research is on and on and on with respect to these batteries. And I guess like that's where mechanical, chemical, there could be like many number of other disciplines has to come in. We have electrical supercapacitors, and finally, like we have, I mean, so say hydrogen and fuel gas. And you might have recently seen a photo, maybe a couple of days back. In Chandigarh, we got first hydrogen bus, right? The bus which is powered completely by hydrogen, right? So these are all probably the type of energy storage, and where to select what. This is bit old, if not too old, right? So means what's the capacity of this energy and what's the duration? And probably nowadays lithium ion battery, probably people are thinking for even 1000 megawatt in gigawatt scale and even up to hours, right? So pumped hydro, compressed air, flow batteries, zinc air, right? Advanced lead acid batteries, lithium ion batteries, supercapacitors, high power flywheels, nickel cadmium, right? Like this are all the different energy storage which you can really pick it up. And this is basically the energy storage which forms the microgrid, which is the energy storage which forms the microgrid. But looking at this microgrid, let's try to understand more from the video itself. 7 2 megawatt diesel generator plus 5 number of 1 megawatt diesel generator is trying to meet a demand of approximately about 11.75 megawatt, approximately about 11.75 megawatt. And like this is the scale is on a 24 hours per day scale, like x-axis it is hours, y-axis it is demand. The red one is the power which is generated by diesel, yellow is the energy generated by solar, battery, that's the energy which is generated in like which is there in the green color, right? So if you just look back, okay, so let's probably play with maybe something on the solar plant also. Let's play with right. And if you have probably means not answered the question, what is the type of solar plant which I have asked little ago? Here is the answer. It's a single axis tracker. It's a single axis tracker, right? You can see here, it's a single axis tracker. Tracks the sun from east to west on a daily basis. East to west on a daily basis, right? So, which you can see, right? There is a tracker motor as well to track the sun and rotate the panels. The direct current DC. Let me, I mean, what to say, just put a U-turn and come from, means what to say here to ask a question, how to decide when you are designing a solar plant, when you are designing a solar plant, whether to go for a fixed tilt angle, whether it has to go for a fixed tilt angle or a single axis tracker or a dual axis tracker. If you're going for a fixed tilt angle, what's the tilt angle which has to be selected? Whether my panel has to face towards south or whether my panel has to face towards north. If it is a single axis tracker, means whether it has to track the sun from east to west, etc., etc. There are many power system amazing softwares are available to identify this, and probably that's what actually and essentially what we are doing to educate the academics on providing some useful informations. I guess like you are able to still see the screen. Yes, it is. If yes, then like we have done a beautiful videos of how to design a solar plant design in our YouTube channel, which you can watch. Grid connected and standalone solar plant design. Grid connected and standalone solar plant design. grid connected and standalone microgrid design, electric vehicles, grid connected and standalone solar plant design, grid connected and standalone solar plant design, grid connected and standalone solar plant design. So what I'm trying to say, we have enough and sufficient informations for the academicians to understand the simulation softwares and design the solar plant on your own. And probably means if you ask me a question like what you will get out of this, means for say I'm just putting, you're right, Sankar sir. That's a single access tracker. What I have shown, that's right. Like I guess like you put the answer long back, but I have not noticed it. Just noticing it, right? So means that's probably the YouTube channel which you can watch, and that provides like enough informations. And if you want to really work with real-time projects, for that also Power Projects provides an opportunity for the students or faculties, those who are coming from the college campus. And let me pick up like how do we make a money from our customers by means of doing some simulations like this. Let's go to the commercials for our projects. Let me look at this. Let me start with this. 22nd July 2020, at the mid of lockdown last year, we have received a purchase order from a company called Renew Power. That's a company which I have shown already as well, for the price worth of 6,25,000. And probably even if you are not really working out numbers, just to inform your students, Renew Power is a company which offers 9 lakh as a starting salary for a BE fresher. And still, if the student is interested in TCS joining 3.6 lakh or CTS at 3 lakh, I'm happy. But let them know that there are plenty of companies, core companies, providing at least 3 times the salary of what the IT counterparts can do. Coming back to the story, let's look at our reports. It's all probably means what I'm opening from our own folders. Let me look at the report, the final report. And I'm just showing this, including dates, right? Taking the PO and the report together. 22nd July, we are receiving the PO. 3rd August, we are submitting the first draft report, preliminary draft report for a discussion. 14th, we are submitting a draft report. 20th August, we have concluded the report, which means hardly took 22nd July to 20th August, 28 days exactly to make this money of 6.25 lakh. And what's the report which we have? What's the report which we have is essentially all about this, what you might be aware, the solar energy storage, and probably a little bit of facts and stuffs. And you will be surprising, like we are using the college interns to complete such a projects. Let's go back maybe to one of the student, what she got through working such a similar projects. Yep, I guess like we have, right? So you are able to see a profile. She has just completed her BE in 2021, which means hardly about 4 or 5 months back. And she has essentially joined an intern in July 2020, and she was with us for an 1-year intern. And like first project, what she has worked exactly is this. And whatever her learnings, she has put up as a report in LinkedIn, right? That essentially about like a 70 odd page report, 65 page report, right? That's a student report, like means what to say, which you can download it. Student intern, 27 July to 1st August. Like this is the report which she has prepared. And what's the report which she has put up? And like the similar activities what she has done, you can download this report, and probably if you want, you can pass it to your students, or even that could be like means what to say, helpful for you to design your own solar plant, right? she has done for both grid connected and standalone systems, right? Like she has written, means what to say, 4 articles during the period of like when she was with the power projects. And thanks to that, today she is at Vestas. And if you do not know what is Vestas, how many of you know this company Vestas? If you know this company Vestas, just put Vestas in chat. And this is a global, means what say, wind turbine manufacturer, and means what say, OPC projects. And like Vestas has a sites, I guess, like very close to the college as well, right? Theni, they have about 99 megawatt installed capacity, and Pollachi, they have about, means for say 100 megawatt farms, right? And this company has about 18% of the total global wind installed capacity. If you take the global total installed wind capacity, out of that 18% has been installed by this company Vestas, and she is making about 6 lakh as a starting salary, not through the college campus. Company has contacted her after going through some articles like this, and she had an intern. Like she hasn't received a call through college or through campus. It's a direct call from a HR by looking at her report, and she's made into this company. So like why I'm stressing all these points, because it is easy to get into core companies also. Probably means what the students has to do is going through the little bit of the means what say, some technical stuffs in the right place and trying it on their own, right? So now let me probably means what say, go back to this topic, energy storage technologies in renewables, and with the case study of this, how this energy storage can be implemented along this video. But before that, means what say, we are almost 50 minutes from the session start. Let me take if there's any questions. Let me take any questions, if any. You can probably post the question in the chat, or you can post the question by means of unmuting yourself as well. Any questions if you have? Any questions? So still we have 33 minutes to go. So as I promised, like if you have any questions, we can take the questions. We can take the questions both text if you're typing in chat, or probably you can unmute yourself and post the questions. Then like we can go ahead with the session. Yeah. If no one unmutes, then I presume that there is no questions, right? All right. And I guess like we are 61 on board, everyone. Hope, I believe like you are 100% putting your concentration here and watching this session. So far the session is useful, just to type out useful in chat so that at least I can understand how many of you there in the session live active. So far if the session is useful, just to type out useful in chat. If it is not useful, type not useful in chat so that like I know, like means what say, how many of you are at least out of 62 are on board, right? Then I will go ahead with the session. Thank you, Shankar sir. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, ma'am. 3 out of 62. And I'm okay with negative feedback. If it is not useful, just type out not useful so that I can understand that you are there in the chat. Shall I expect maybe few more answers? All right. So then I will probably put it the other way around. If somebody is looking at to work with a similar project with us, I have connected my LinkedIn profile. Connect with me, and means what say, for if you're really willing to work on some real-time challenging projects like that, right? That could be an amazing opportunity for you or your students to probably make into R&D projects, or probably your students to make into the core company, right? And maybe one last non-technical talk which I just thought of adding it, is what we have done probably a couple of days back on 11th. Yes, exactly on Thursday itself. Like we have signed an MOU with GCT, Government College of Technology, Coimbatore, to do all those things. And if somebody asks the question what Power Projects is all about, let me have maybe a very, very short slide, 2 minutes. This is our organization profile. We have about 38 power system engineers, completed 140 projects across the globe. We are working on 5 countries, 31 countries, 5 continents, 31 countries. We work across the sector: oil and gas, commercial buildings, sports stadiums, renewables, wind, solar, biomass, battery energy storage, and of course, microgrids, conventional power plants that could be like thermal, hydro, T&D, transmission and distribution, data centers, oil and gas. So basically, we are a power system consulting organization, and we have identified the technical or a talent shortage well in advance. So we started training as another business, and for industry participants, we are charging heavily. Like you can go to our, I mean, for say programs, and you can see like we are charging about 35,000 for like 1 month training. But we also started training for the college students for free, just to, I mean, sort of say, ensure that the gap between the industry and the institutes are filled. Like these are the services what we do: low flow, power factor corrections, reactive power compensation, short circuit, motor starting, transients, grid islanding, harmonics, relay coordination, arc flash, grid compliance study, connectivity study, insulation coordination, LVRT, microgrids, BESS. These are the softwares what we use. And like why I'm stressing this softwares probably means what, say, let me go back to another other place. Like if you take maybe ETAP jobs and just casually searching ETAP jobs, that's the first software what we have. Right now, there are about 8,800 jobs available in India if you know the software ETAP. And like 854 jobs in Chennai alone. That's the real reason why probably means if you look at our digital university, we are selling the course of ETAP at a price of 35,000. Right? You can probably find out some industrial IPSA participant course like that's at that 35,000, and like market is probably means also we are not advertising it, but people are by default buying it, right? So that's the potential. So means what I'm trying to stress, if the students are really interested, probably they have to learn the simulation software ETAP. And if you are looking for a job outside the market after the college campus, that is much easy to get. And probably if you talk about the solar plant design, I have asked a question: what's the optimal tilt angle, how to select the right tilt angle, etc., etc. I have given YouTube video, but the software which could be used for that is PVSYST, and you will download this software free. You can download the software for free and you can use it for 30 days without any constraints and with some limitations after that for a lifetime. Right? And if you look at maybe solar jobs in Indian sector, as we have seen, like we are about to add 57 gigawatt installed capacity of solar in the upcoming days. You can look at how many job openings which are there in the market. And of course, still I could see there is a negative vibration or a market or a, I mean, sort of say, world which is there with respect to the academics, that like, yes, we really do not have jobs that these, etc., etc. So IT is booming big and core is always silent, but like there are plenty of opportunities there in the market. It's true for other simulation software as well. So if you want to design completely solar plant design, this is a solar plant design, and this is for a power system design. And if you want to design microgrids, energy storage, etc., etc., you will get this software like Homer Pro, Homer Grid, React, and React is a free tool. And if you take Dialex for a lighting design, that's a completely free software. completely free software, which you will get, means for say, for a lifetime free. For a lifetime free, you can download this Dialex. You can do 2D, 3D, whatever you want. And probably means for say, if you want to show me like some real example of what's the what's the recent feedback which we have done, maybe one of the means what to say, one credit course in Congo Engineering College. I'm just sharing a, I mean what to say, the document prepared or the images prepared by a student. Let me just give a, like my mobile might not have connected. Just give me a second. So what I'm trying to say means if the students, such a students practice this for some time, and I will show some images like what they have prepared, you will be able to, I mean what say, get a job in the lighting design itself. There are plenty of companies, right? So let me show some documents prepared by the students, right? These are the lighting design which is done by the college students. And after all, means the student, if he practices the software for 2 years, if the student practices this software for 2 years, like they need not look for a job, they can start their own consulting company. And why? Because if you take an example of FIFA Football World Cup, the stadiums, what we have designed lighting, we have charged 2 crores just for a lighting design. Just charge 2 crores for a lighting design alone, right? So means the student really need not really seek a job. In fact, like he can become a freelancer or he can start his own consulting firm. So that's probably the potential of the simulation softwares. And I sincerely request you to probably take a snip of this slide if you're really interested to means grow and probably enlighten your students community as well. And try any simulation software. Ask the student to practice for just 2 years. And probably means to say if any student practice this software 2 years in the college, he will come out with a 2-year experience in the software, not as a fresher. And like means what say, at least bare minimum he will be able to get 4 lakh as a starting salary if the student has means what's an experience in any of the simulation software for 2 years. These are all our customers. These are all some projects. Like I'm not really going much detail about our organizations, but that's a potential what I'm trying to say or talk with respect to the means job market which is available. Let's come back for the technical talk, right? What this battery energy storage system can do? It can do a renewable farming. Going back to this video, right? What's the energy storage system which we are seeing here? What's the energy storage system which we are seeing here? Right? So means for whenever there is a excess energy from solar, it stores the energy in the battery. So if whenever there is an excess energy from the solar, it stores it in battery. And whenever there is a shortage in solar, like it discharges the energy. Like the inverter, what you see is a voltage source converter. A voltage source converter. That's a bidirectional converter. Means what say, whenever there is excess energy, it stores it in battery. Whenever there is a shortage, means what say, you can see the power flow is in the other direction, right? And this is a typical power system operation and control. I had probably given a lengthy lectures on this for microgrids and energy storage systems. And for the peoples, those who are approaching from the college campus, we are enriching them in all the simulation softwares what I have shown here, right? In all the simulation softwares for a free if the students joins maybe second semester with us in an intern or third semester at max, right? We train the students in Dialex in 3rd semester, TVSys in 4th semester, ETAP in 5 and 6, Dixieland, PSSC, PSCAT in 8th, and if they are interested in microgrid, they are training on Homer also. So the student definitely goes at much better salary in the core company itself when he goes out from the college campus. right? What this energy storage can do, or what a microgrid can do, it can do a renewable farming. When I means whenever this solar is means for say oscillating, the battery energy which is available here, that probably means compensates, right? Means whenever there is excess energy from solar, it stores the energy. Whenever there is a shortage, it discharges the energy. And probably like look at this, the yellow color is met by solar and the battery is met by discharge. That is also means what say charged from the solar, right? Of course there is no point in charging the battery from diesel. So looking at this graph, so you can see how much percentage of the energy which is met by the solar, and that is a straight away a carbon reduction. That's straight away this uh, uh, diesel consumption reduction. As I told, like 5 million liters of diesel every year. Imagine the payback period. Payback period of this business is about 3 to 4 years. 3 to 4 years, right? So what else it can do? It can support a reactive power control, and I guess like the faculties from power electronics, it could be a good food for their research to discuss more onto this PCS and its behavior. It serves quite a lot of purpose. Means what say it can act as a SATCOM, supporting reactive power, supporting power factors, supporting the voltage control. It can also support means what say real power charge discharge, means absolutely real and reactive power in the both the directions are independently controllable. So whenever there is a shortage of voltage, supply reactive power. Whenever there is a shortage of frequency, supply real power. Whenever there is an excess frequencies, means charge the battery. That means consume the power. All this power electronics is capable of. In addition to that, this can provide DG off mode, which means this is basically a voltage source converter based technology, VSC based converter technology. So in absence of the grid, this will be able to set a voltage reference so that the renewables can function smoothly without any issues. I'm not really sure how many of your college has this rooftop solar or rooftop wind turbine generator. But if you have carefully noticed that when the grid fails, means for say this solar also go to inhibit mode, it will not generate a power. And then probably if you bring on the diesel generator, then it can start power. But like whenever there is a fluctuation, that remaining power has to be compensated by diesel generators, right? If you go for a higher solar, then probably means the life of the diesel generator will come down. So here the battery energy storage system provides an amazing option to compensate whatever may be the mismatch between the real power generations and reactive power generation to maintain the voltage and frequency. In addition to that, this sets the voltage reference even in absence of a grid. Even if the grid fails, this sets the voltage reference so that there is no interruption in the solar and wind. If it is available, it can generate a power. It helps you to do a peak saving. What is peak saving? So like you may be aware, evening 7 o'clock, there could be a peak demand. So there could be higher demand charges, etc. So means what, see, when the price of the electricity is less, it can charge, or in non-peak hours, it can charge, and during peak hours, it can discharge. Or whenever there is a peak demand occurs, it can discharge and it can effectively reduce the peak demand, which is going to the grid. Ramp rate control, it can means for say control the rate at which the renewable is increasing or decreasing. It can do active power management. Can do a spinning reserve, and I guess like means that's a really good other aspect of this energy storage. Exact application of this video, what we are seeing, one most important application of this energy storage in this project is the spinning reserve, which provides the spinning reserve, which means unnecessarily the diesel generator not necessarily has to run to maintain the spinning reserve applications. And this voltage source converter based bidirectional power electronic device offers a synthetic inertia, which means like we are talking about the solar, which is power electronic based, right? So which doesn't have an inertia. In addition to, means what, say if you compare the synchronous machines with the inverter based sources, your synchronous machines has inertia, which is missing as far as the solar inverters are concerned. So here means this voltage source converter based bidirectional converter offers a synthetic inertia, which ensures the stability of the system. It helps to ensure the seamless transfer. What is seamless transfer? Even in your college, you might have noticed many times, if the grid fails, even if you have a diesel generator in your college campus, as soon as the grid fails, your power will go off, then diesel generator will be manually switched on, or probably if it has an automatic main failure, automatically it will switch on. But there is about 10 to 20 seconds delay, even if you have an AMF, and probably you will have the loads will face about, means was the 10 to 20 seconds interruption. That's probably the time taken between means what's the grid failure and switching on the diesel generator automatically. And if it is manual, then probably it depends upon the operator effectiveness, right? So now, if you have this energy storage, in absence of failure of the grid, like means to say, if during the grid failure, there is a seamless transition, which means the loads which are connected will never ever see any interruption. As soon as the grid fails, like this will come and take the charge, setting the reference voltage, maintaining the frequency, take care of all the mismatch, and maintains voltage and frequency. And the user here will not really understand whether the power supply he is getting from the grid or he's getting from only the local grid. The grid has failed. Like you will not see any interruption. It's like when you have a UPS in your home, you will not see or you will not be able to realize whether the grid failed or not. Similar fashion, this battery energy storage with the bidirectional can help you on that. Probably means what's a fault current is, that's another biggest challenge what you need to really look at. The fault current, when you have a synchronous machines, it will have like 6 times the current, 8 times the current, etc. So this fault current helps you to have a better protection, discriminations and stuffs. But when you have a scenario like purely renewable based grids, it's all power electronics. The short circuit current is almost close to the full load current, and you will not be able to differentiate whether this is a fault or it's normal operating conditions using a current reduction principle. So the biggest challenge in the renewable integration is protection, effective protection, and like what we can look at means what say this VSC based converters can probably contribute higher short circuit currents and have a better coordination. It helps you to sift the load, it helps you to sift the generations, it helps you to operate in standalone mode. That means even if the grid is not available, it can operate just with the solar and supply the system. And like we have done one of the standalone system way back in 2015 in 2 of the villages in Maharashtra in Yavatmal district, where solar plus battery energy storage is feeding 2 villages without any power interruption, right? Like what are the things which you need to take care as far as the energy storage system is concerned? Like you need to evaluate commercial, that's most important. Don't ever forget this commercial economics here, like what's the price and etc. At the end of the day, all this technical stuffs has to be commercially feasible. If the technical stuff is not really commercially attractive, then probably means there's no point or there's no worth in going and ahead and implementing the project. So you need to do the commercial evaluation, then size it optimally, then go for a technical feasibility, design and implement. For that, what's the software which we use is Dixelen Power Factory, right? And like Dixelen Power Factory, the software is free for the research scholars and master students. If you're a master student or if you're doing your PhD, you will get the software. It is a German-based software. Till you complete your PhD or till you complete your masters, you will get the simulation software absolutely free, absolutely free. And if you take PSSE, that software is free for us students. The software is free for us students. So what I'm trying to, and of course for the professors, right? What I'm trying to say, one, we are investing like we have to invest about 62 lakhs to get this software. We have to invest about 45 crores to get this simulation software. You will get the simulation software in an academics at free of cost. Only thing like you have to know how to use it, and that's where we support and we help you to probably means train the students so that they can take it to the next level. And like if you look at maybe some simulation software Dialex, which is completely free for the entire world, and like means what to say, you can design the indoor and outdoor lighting not only for the power plants but also for the interiors sports stadiums, complex, commercial buildings, etc., IT parks, and you can probably take the skill level of your students or yourself to the next level, right? 10 more minutes I have. So, like, let me stop at the stage and taking a Q&A. If there is any other questions, or if there is any questions, like, I'm happy to take. You can unmute yourself and you can post the questions. Right? Okay. If there is no questions, then let me put the other way to get a feedback. Out of 1 to 10 scale, 1 being the, of course, anyway, means for say, there will be a feedback form which will be taken, but out of 1 to 10 scale, like 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, how do you rate the session? Shall I get at least the answer for that? On a 10 scale, how do you rate the session? Shall I get some answers at least for that? Yep. Shall I get more answers? Be honest, nothing to worry. Like, I'm not really going to make anything better. Yep. 8, 9, 6, 9, 9, 7. Thank you so much. Thank you all. All right. And means what to say? The one last final update, what I need to probably give you is some options like this for your continuous learning journey, right? Thank you, sir. Thank you all for your amazing feedback. One way of you can directly learn quite a lot of stuffs what we are doing in our YouTube channel itself, and like I am trying to answer in each and every Sunday on the questions related to the power system studies, right? And you have another amazing option to look at our means what say digital university, and like you will get some courses at free, right? Some courses are of course extremely expensive, that is for an industrial participants, but some courses we are offering free, and some courses it is at really an affordable price. And probably means was if you take the course on dialects, like we sell it just rupees 99, right? You will get means was a complete support, and I guess like means was you can look at means what say what you will get out of this. So I mean what say I'm just leaving it to you to probably I mean what say learn what you want to I mean what say take it from such industries and develop your skills so that you can make the next level generation so that they could be reach great heights in the career. Yep. And it's my pleasure and privilege to come back to this I mean what to say college for a faculty development program. I thank college management and of course head of department and organizers for giving me an opportunity, and I will be available on all the social medias, and like I can put up that link if you really want to connect with me and probably means what say continue your learning journey. Yep. That's it from me. Thank you all. Thanks for patient listening and have a great day. Vijay Bhaskar sir or Vinod sir?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Session is very nice and very useful. Thank you once again, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Participants to note. So now we are going to update your feedback link. Kindly fill the feedback link. So again, we will meet in another session by tomorrow morning. So all are requested to join by tomorrow morning. Thank you all. Sir, participants to note, feedback is mandatory. All are requested to fill the feedback. Each feedback form is meant for a session, particular session that will be conducted during sequence as mentioned in the schedule. So please fill the feedback. From that, we will let us to inform the resource person about the presents and their presentation. So we need to update to them. So please fill the feedback form as quick as possible without fail. Thank you once again. We will meet again tomorrow by another session. Thank you all.